Welcome back to Fox 51. Today we have got some advice for getting your health on track. Dr. Guy Danielson with Precision Spine Care. Here's some easy steps for us this morning. Okay, Dr. Danielson, what are just some easy steps that we can take to make our health a little bit better?
Well, the easiest step that you can take is just think about some very simple rules.
Okay.
One of them is drink water. The other one is eat food. and so we could talk a little bit more about those, but that's kind of the take-home message.
Okay, so that's just kind of the basics of this. Now let's talk about fluids. What would you recommend is the best thing for us to drink, and how much would you recommend for us to drink of this?
This is not a shocker, but we're talking about water.
Okay, I am mortified. Okay, so water.
And the problem with water is that most people, including myself, sort of have the idea that it's not really that much fun to drink water. And actually it really is if you get used to it. But we drink so many other things that really don't have the health benefits. And so the simple thing to do is, if you want to really get going on something that's going to make you feel better and be better, decide you're going to drink water and not a lot of other things, particularly sodas and that sort of thing.
Okay, we hear about 8 cups of water a day. Do you really stick to that, or are you just saying just drink a lot?
I do.
Okay, 8 cups?
I do, and I started out with a big glass in the morning and then with each meal, so there's 4 of them right there. And it does take a little bit of paying attention to the fact, because most of us don't, if we just wait till we get thirsty, then we won't drink enough.
And I guess there are probably many ways people can bring it into their regimen, for lack of a better word. Maybe different types of containers, right? Other than having to get up to the water fountain or whatever.
Right. As a matter of fact, we're basically, water from the tap is probably not the best. And so that means you're going to get water from some other source, which could be in the store. A lot of people will carry plastic bottles around, and that's kind of a no-no, because the plastic is, there's more plastic in the ocean than the state of Texas, and so there's one kind of plastic that's really not good, and it's called BPA, and that's the one that is the little crinkly kind that bottles come in, and so those are really bad.
Well, oops, I better go clean out my purse right now. Okay.
Right away.
Okay, that's helpful. Okay, so we talked about, why it's so important to drink that much water. Now let's talk about eating. What's some advice that you have for us on
okay,
that?
I already told you the one rule. Eat food.
Okay.
Now, what is food? Well, food is not anything that, first of all, one of the rules that I love is, do not shop for food in a gas station.
Well, oops again on that one. Gotta get the Funyuns out of there. So
that's easy.
So you're saying some good foods?
Yes, good food means really basically natural foods. You could define foods as things that your grandmother fixed you. You could define them as things that you can look across the table and tell what they are. And that means nothing from a box, nothing processed. So, and there you go. That is right. Just doing those rules. And the other very simple rule that you can take with you, I do it every time I go in the grocery store, and that is, you want to stay around the outside of the grocery store and not in the middle, because that's where all the healthy stuff is.
What are your thoughts on nuts? Do you consume some nuts every now and then? Or?
Yes, okay. I do, and they're good. Particularly if you don't have too much of the salt, don't have real salty ones. But almonds and most nuts are healthy. Just not in, you can overdo anything.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard things about peanuts. Can those sometimes, if you overdo those, kind of get a little fattening?
Yes.
Would you stick to almonds?
Yes. Anything can get a little fattening.
I guess that's a good point. I guess if you eat a lot of chicken.
Funyuns.
Yeah, Funyuns. Okay. I'm not the best one to ask for diet advice. That's why I got to listen to you now. How important, obviously we're eating well, we're drinking all this water, exercise, I'm sure, you've got to bring that into the equation as well.
Well, our country is the least active country on the planet, and so anything you do, again, baby steps are important in anything. With the water, with the food, you don't just go and tomorrow do everything, but just mainly just walking. If you walk 30 minutes a day, that's a big start. It's better if you do more, but you don't have to go to a gym and do 2 hours on the weights. There are a lot of things that you can do in a gym, and there's a lot about exercise that is in the category of smart versus not very smart. That'll take some time to go into, but basically there's movement. Move.
Get off the couch, basically.
Yeah.
All right, well, if we want to find out more information, is there a good place we can go to? Maybe Precision Spine Care's website would be a good place, I'm guessing.
That's a good place to start.
All right, we'll give you a call. Well, thank you so much for stopping by this morning.
Thank you, my pleasure.
All right.
You'll have a great day.
You too. Coming up next year on Fox 51 Today, we're going to take a quick news break with our sister station. We'll be right back.